Hello, this is Movie Analysis, and this is a different type of video. I'm going to be having a discussion with Infectious Insect, and we're going to be talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender movie. I've never actually watched the show, so I'm going to be giving my input as someone who hasn't seen the show, and Infectious is going to be giving his input as someone who does watch the show.
Yeah, I'm Infectious Insect. I make Minecraft montages.
Nice. So basically, I think if there's one thing that I noticed in the movie overall, there's like a lot of like character stupidity. Like people are just doing dumb things all the time.
Yeah.
If we were like going to the beginning when the prince has abducted Aang, what's weird is that like the prince needs to realize like if the hostage is that he has is rumored to be the Avatar, who has all these magic powers, and he doesn't have that tight security. He only has like 4 or 5 guards. And that was just really dumb because like you'd be expecting the Avatar to actually like know all these powers, and obviously like like 4 or 5 guards like could easily be like defeated by that. So that was just extremely stupid.
Yeah, that was, but like, remember the Avatar had been missing for like 100 years, so um, he wasn't expecting to find the Avatar.
I mean that is kind of like to be fair, like you should probably like expect to. Actually, yeah, I mean that might be. No, wait, no. I'm pretty sure they were actually like looking for the Avatar, weren't they, at the beginning?
Yeah,
Yeah, they were looking for the Avatar and all that. And I mean, if you're looking for the Avatar, you'd probably want to have the security and all that needed. Because it just seems like common sense.
yeah,
Like police cars, right? Like they have like tight security and all that type of stuff. Because because they might end up running into like criminals and all that.
true. Yeah, that's true. I guess he did under prepare for it.
Yeah, he's severely underprepared.
Yeah,
This is another thing that happens later when Aang is taken prisoner in the Earth place where the Earthbenders are. So basically, like the while the guards are within earshots, he like tells the prisoners that he's the Avatar and all that, and he shows off his air powers. Um, Now, if any guards do survive, which guess what, there were guards that survived, they would probably end up like telling their superiors and all that, and yeah, you basically like be on the receiving end of a manhunt.
yeah.
Another thing I did notice is that like why did the prisoners not think of rioting earlier in that prison? Because there are significantly more prisoners than guards, and there's also not a very secure structure keeping them. Another thing, they have access to the earth. You have like if you because everyone has magic powers and they have the strength in numbers. One riot could in this prison could lead to a prison break. And I'm just saying I do want to back this up with the Fox River riot and the Sona riot and Prison Break, because in the Fox River riot, no one escaped obviously because it was a maximum security prison, and there were no magic powers in there. But the thing was that like one guard ended up dying. Sarah Tancredi almost got assaulted by inmates, and the escape team had time to drill a hole in the wall. There was like a lot of property damage, and that was from a normal prison riot. In the Sona riot as well, people actually escaped the prison, like the prison burned down.
That's like a lot of damage. And the thing is, this was supposed to be an adaptation, but like the production team, they put no effort in whatsoever.
That's
In
yeah,
the
exactly.
show, in the show, the Earthbenders are trapped on a metal ship where they have nothing they could bend. The only way they got out was because Aang and Katara, um, there was coal that was burning to like fuel the ship, and Aang used his airbending to get the coal out, and then the Earthbenders bent the coal, and that's how they got out. Like they
Yeah.
can't, Earthbenders can't bend metal. Well, not yet, anyway.
Do they like yeah, like how do they become metal benders? Do they like evolve or something?
Well, I would tell you, it would be a tiny spoiler. You want me to tell you?
Never mind. I might
All right.
decide to watch the show, that's why.
Yeah, okay.
Um
So,
oh sorry.
but
What?
I think they just couldn't be bothered to put footage of a metal ship, so they just put the Earthbenders
They
on like the
literally had metal
stand.
ships being shown though. Like they had metal ship like,
Exactly.
yeah, like I don't know, like were these I wanna okay, here's one thing I wanna ask. Were the writers high on heroin? How much like seriously, like I just feel like that's what the writers were doing. They were just
Yeah.
like doing heroin instead of like writing the script, and then they were high, so they were like, "Oh yeah, the script is due tomorrow. Let's just write it."
That would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, yeah, in their hungover state, they just end up like writing the script.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I
And,
feel like a 4-year-old could have written a better script.
yeah, and there was this one scene which I particularly disliked because it was so cringe. Like, it's probably gonna play on screen right now, but like where five Earthbenders did a synchronized dance, and this like freaking tiny pebble floated and hit a Fire Nation soldier.
Oh my god.
They did a synchronized dance, a synchronized war dance, and
What?
one rock floated and hit a um Fire Nation soldier in the chest. That's not how Earthbending works.
If it's
You
like a
literally
pebble, how much damage can a pebble cause? Like you can't even crack a window with a pebble. Okay,
Well,
maybe
that
you
was an
can.
exaggeration. It was like a moderately sized rock, like those
Oh,
things that you did like you'd have to pick up with two hands.
yeah, but like if you're like okay, but if you're an earthbender, you would probably be able to like bend a whole lot. Like you wouldn't suck this much.
Um, Earthbenders can literally make a mountain if they wanted to.
Exactly,
One
they don't
one
suck that
Earthbender,
much, I guess.
yeah, they severely downplayed Earthbending, and it just was not fun.
Can we also talk about how they ended up completely mispronouncing the characters' names? Like Aang and Sokka. Like they were probably like one of the main characters, and apparently, like, in the movie they go by Aang and Sokka for some reason.
Yep,
Like,
I
why?
don't know why.
What's the purpose?
They just so the M Night Shyamalan, the director, he wanted to make like them fit more to their culture, like in Tibetan culture, which is what Airbenders are based off of. Aang would actually be pronounced Ong, and
Okay.
in the Inuit culture, Sokka would actually be pronounced Sokka. But if that's the case, then why are Aang and Sokka white?
Yeah, that is true. Like they ended up change. Apparently, like you said that they changed the races of the characters. I think at one point.
Yeah, the only accurate bending they did was race bending. Like the only races that remained pure were the Earth Kingdom.
Yeah.
Because the Airbenders became white, thus Water Tribes became white, and the Fire Nation became Indian. That's not what it is. Like
Yeah.
the air nomads and Airbenders, they're supposed to be Tibetan. They were based off of Tibetan people. The North and Southern Water Tribes, they were based off the Inuit Indians. And the Fire Nation was based off of Japan. Like, why would you make them Indian?
I don't know. Maybe there's like okay, so these actors are cheap, so we're just gonna hire these guys, I guess. Sorry, man, we need our money.
They hired Dev Patel for Zuko. Dev
Yeah,
Patel. He's
yeah,
a
Dave
really good
Patel. I
actor.
noticed.
He's a really good actor.
Yeah, I think he was in like Hotel Mumbai, I think, and like a few other movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I was
thing
like
is,
thinking that when I watched the movie. Is this guy Dave Patel?
yeah. The thing is, they could have gotten Dev Patel to do Sokka because he looks like Sokka and he'd be able to act like Sokka very well. And that
Yeah.
brings me to my next point. They changed the personalities of everyone in the movie. So they made Aang a scared little boy, which he is not. Like, no matter what, even if he's in prison, he's like challenging his guards to fights, like, making sarcastic remarks. He's not just gonna sit there and like cower. But that's exactly what movie Aang did
Yeah. I mean,
when Zhao captured.
if you watch the intro of the show, and I've seen the intro of the show, I just haven't like watched any of the episodes. But like in the intro of the show, like I mean, Aang is like literally shown to be like this one crackhead kid. Obviously, I don't think he's a crackhead, but like you could probably get that he's not a scared kid. Like he's confident and stuff.
Yeah, he's definitely confident.
Yeah.
And then Katara, they just made her like the sidekick. That's what I love about this show. They like actually give the side characters a personality, a life. Like
Is she even a side character in the show? I thought she was like one of the main characters.
she is one of the main characters. She's not even a sidekick. She's
Exactly.
just helping Aang and she's like she has her own goals too. Like she wants to learn waterbending. In the movie, they just made her a sidekick with like barely any lines.
Wow. I mean, she was also narrating the whole thing. Like the
Exactly.
narration wasn't really that like annoying, but like the fact that I think, like she wasn't really given like as many lines as like as many actual lines.
Yeah, but that's not how you make a movie. That's known as exposition. You don't put
Yeah.
that much exposition in a movie. Like, if we
Yeah.
look at Star Wars, the only exposition it has are the opening scene. Like,
Exactly.
where it says, a long, I don't remember.
A
A
long
long,
time
long
ago in
time
a
ago in a
galaxy far,
galaxy
far
long.
away.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the Clone Wars, like they don't do exposition. I mean, actually, no. Okay, never mind. Forget that. They do have narration, but they keep it short, and it's just like a recap of like the previous episodes or like background information. Like that's pretty much it. They don't rely heavily on narration.
Yeah. Um, and to continue to think about the personalities, Sokka, Sokka was like the funny guy of the group. He was like the comedic relief. Like everyone's like,
Comic
"Oh, we gotta
relief,
save the
yeah.
world. We gotta what?
Comic
Comic relief.
relief, yeah.
My fault. We
It's
gotta
fine.
save the world. We gotta defeat the Fire Lord." And he was the one making all the jokes. In the movie, they showed him as dark and brooding. Like Katara asked him what he would do if the Fire Nation abducted her, and he said that he would kill them all. That's not what Sokka would say.
What do you say? What
Like
do you,
Sokka, he'd probably say something like, "I'd watch you go, and then I'd throw a party."
bro?
Yeah,
I mean, okay, to be fair, like that's what like a normal sibling would say. I think I'm an only child. I don't have siblings, but I feel like that's what siblings would say.
yeah. Like, and it's not like he's always funny either. He can be like,
Like he can be serious. I think that's what you're trying to say.
yeah, he can be serious.
So there's something else I
But
did note. Oh, sorry. Continue.
no, no, no. You continue.
Okay. I did notice that directly after the prison break, the Fire Nation had the weapons and like stuff related to like bending and stuff. It was locked in a literal closet right outside the prison. The problem is like it's a literal closet. So if your prison has this low security, you really okay. Look, literally a normal human could open up that closet. Like literally, they could break the closet that easily. If it's
Yeah,
stuff
I
like
know.
yeah, they're idiots. They're actually stupid.
They just needed to figure out a way to get Katara the waterbending scroll. In the show, Katara steals it from pirates, gets chased by the pirates, gets almost killed by the pirates, then proceeds to get almost killed by Zuko, and barely escape on Appa. That's how they got the waterbending scroll. But in the movie, they're just like, all right, here, have a scroll. That's like, it just removed all the action out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like they're trying to like fit it into like what like an hour and 20 minutes movie or something. How long was the movie? I don't remember how long it was, but like, it was like
45. And that's the worst part. They could have added another 45 minutes of content, and the movie still wouldn't have been considered wrong,
yeah.
long.
They could have. I think you said one time that they were supposed to add like a fourth season or something, but they
They
decided to have
were,
the movie.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Um,
like I mean, if the show is as good as people say it is, then yeah, they should probably have like a fourth season.
Too little, too late at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like what, like 10 years or something,
12.
12 years. Wow.
Yeah. Almost. It's about to be 13 actually. This July.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, I actually, you know what? Maybe it isn't too late for them to add a fourth season. I mean, literally, like, probably like what, like 6 years after Clone Wars ended, originally in 2014, they decide to have a, they end up adding Clone Wars season 7 in 2020. They could do that the same thing to Avatar if they wanted to.
It is.
Yeah, like it's
That's
not
a
too
bit
late.
tricky because they need to like rehire all the old voice actors. Zach Tyler Eisen, the voice actor for Aang, is like a grown man now.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
some of them could still work. Like Dante Bosco sounds the same. I'm pretty sure Mae Whitman sounds the same. The Dante Bosco is Zuko and Mae Whitman is Katara. But a lot of the others wouldn't work.
Yeah. I mean, I guess like in the Clone Wars, I mean Ashley Eckstein, who was probably an adult at the time, she was voicing Ahsoka, who was a teenager. So I don't know. I mean, I definitely think it is possible for an adult to voice a character that's a child, but then it does depend on the voice actor.
True, but like Zach Tyler Eisen, he went off the deep end. Like his voice got really deep, so it's probably
Oh,
basically impossible.
that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense then. So here's
Hmm.
another thing that I ended up noticing in this in the movie. So when the gang is at the royal waterbending place, they barely know Sokka at that point, and they were and then Sokka, Katara, and everyone they were probably there for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So because like these people at the palace. They barely know Sokka, but they allow him to guard the princess. Here's the problem. I see two problems with that. How do they know that he's trustworthy, and how do they know that he's actually able to protect her? Because based on based on the progress that Aang was making, they were probably just there for a few weeks. So like in that amount of time, you can't just trust someone.
This is another thing. You're very right, but it only works in the movie. Like, your concerns only work in the movie, because in the show,
Yeah.
they recognize Katara, tie her to her grandmother, who was actually supposed to marry someone in the Northern Water Tribe, and, like, they're able to fully recognize Katara and make out that she's Southern Water Tribe. And then Katara's saying that Sokka is her brother, so Sokka automatically becomes trustworthy. Also, Katara can waterbend. The Fire Nation only has firebending and non-bending soldiers.
Yeah. Because I'm
So
just saying, like in the movie, like you could literally just claim to not be to not have any of the powers, but then but like, you could actually have the powers in the movie, but you could just like claim to not have them. I mean, you can just do that, and that's the thing. Like what if Sokka did that? Like what if Sokka was actually like a Fire Nation? Like I'm just saying, you can't just trust someone like that.
yeah.
Yeah. Didn't you, I think, also say something like that there was like a necklace or something last time we tried to
Oh,
record this
right.
video?
Katara's grandmother's necklace. I completely forgot. So her Katara's grandmother's necklace was carved by her waterbending master because they were supposed to get married, but her grandmother was not happy with the wedding, and so she fled to the south to make the Southern Water Tribe. Because at first there was only the Northern Water Tribe, but Katara's grandmother started the Southern one,
That's
and
cool.
then slowly more and more started migrating from north to south to populate it. Um, and since that was a unique necklace, no one else could have made it. And so they were able to immediately connect, oh, you're Kana's granddaughter. And they were like, oh, okay, then you must be trustworthy.
Yeah. I mean, wait, hang on. This person, like, I mean, Katara could have like just been like, it could have just been like a random person that like stole it or something.
That's true, but like she was an identical copy of her grandmother. She could
Oh, okay.
waterbend. They're like you can't have that many coincidences.
Okay, yeah, yeah, you're right. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I did notice when Katara ends up fighting Zuko in that cave place, she decides to announce who she is and that she is the only bender left from her village. This guy is clearly your enemy and he's in the Fire Nation. You just made yourself an even bigger threat than before. This is just like in the Odyssey when Odysseus ended up disclosing his identity to that Cyclops guy because then Poseidon found out and that basically delayed his entire like voyage back home. I'm just saying that was just character stupidity. Like don't announce yourself to the enemy like that.
They just needed to like remind the audience, oh yeah, this is Katara. She's the only bender. You know, that's
Why do
like
you need to
because
like
they were just
remind the
writing the
audience like
movie.
that though? Like what? Like your audience is not stupid.
This is the beauty of the show because in the background you can see because in like the opening shots and random shots which don't have fighting, you can see Katara in the background waterbending. And you won't notice it, but it'll become engraved in your head that Katara is the last waterbender
Yeah,
of the Southern Water Tribe,
exactly.
which they don't do in the movie.
I will say that the movie it didn't get like a proper ending. I guess they were planning on having like a second part to it, but like it sucked so much or something. It was weird, like the movie's ending.
Uh-huh. Like it was pretty weird to be honest. Like wait, I think I ended it before like the full ending. Did you get to see Azula,
Azula?
Fire Lord Ozai's daughter?
Oh yeah, I did see her.
Oh yeah, Azula. She wasn't given a dramatic entrance or given any like she wasn't intimidating at all. In the show, she is more dangerous than Fire Lord Ozai.
If anything, like what I just like yeah, like in the show, I guess like she was just, oh yeah, I'm the daughter of this evil guy, and now I'm doing stuff for him. Woohoo! Like that's literally just like the energy that I got from her introduction.
Yeah, like it was just I thought the movie was over because they like freaking faded to black. Like who fades to black on the second to last shot? So I just
Yeah,
thought the movie was over and I shut it off. But like I saw the clip on YouTube. She didn't have like any intimidation behind her at all.
yeah.
So that wasn't like Azula was given a very bad entrance.
Yeah. Was it true that Zuko was like the like Zuko's dad did not like him and like tried to kill him and stuff?
Not tried to kill him. So if you want the full story, it'll spoil half of one episode.
That's fine.
Um, Zuko went to a war meeting when he was 13 years old. He is 16 at the time, like the show and the movie are going on. So when he was 13 years old, he went to a war meeting, and he just sat there and was listening and saw this one general. That general was offering up an entire blockade of new soldiers to divert the Earth Kingdom, and then their more experienced soldiers could take the Earth Kingdom out. But if they did that, the platoon of new soldiers, they would all die. So Zuko obviously he didn't like that because Zuko actually has compassion and stuff. So he was like,
Yeah.
no, those soldiers love and fight for our country, blah blah blah. But in doing so, and by interrupting the general, he had actually disrespected Fire Lord Ozai, whose war meeting it was. So then he was forced to duel Fire Lord Ozai at an Agni Kai, um, and at the Agni Kai, he refused to fight his father, and then Fire Lord Ozai burned the side of his face off, and
Oh.
well, not off, but like he had a scar, a permanent scar. So he burned the side of his face and forced him to go search for the Avatar, and only after he found the Avatar could he return with his honor, which is why he's so obsessed with it.
Yeah, the last bit actually, I think they did elaborate on that in the movie. Like they did talk about it in the movie. But like the problem is that like Zuko is supposed to have like a scar on his face. Like I could barely notice a scar on his face.
Pretty sure that if you didn't know there was supposed to be a scar, you wouldn't see it.
Yeah, exactly. Because like
In
again, I
the
don't
in
know
the
about the
show,
lore. Like I don't like no, I don't know about Avatar's lore, and like I was just watching this movie as like a non-Avatar watcher.
okay, so on the screen there will be a side-by-side comparison between the Zuko from the movie and the Zuko from the show. This is what Zuko from the show is supposed to look like. Let me just send an image.
Yeah, he's sending an image in Discord.
Yeah. Alright. That's what Zuko from the show is supposed to
Yeah,
look
you
like.
could. I
What is
can.
the first thing you notice about him?
Yeah, you can clearly see the scar. He actually looks kind of intimidating.
Yeah, that's just because of the shot.
Oh
But he is
yeah,
actually pretty intimidating when he wants to be.
yeah. But he's also like I
So,
think he does look like he has compassion and stuff.
yeah,
Like he
like
actually cares. Does he ever like? Does he become a good guy? Because like I don't know. It always looks like he has like a redemption arc. I don't know why.
you really want to know? It's it's gonna spoil like half the third season.
Okay, that's okay. I probably
Yeah.
already know at this point, given how you're talking to me. But yeah, like given like the tone you're
Yeah.
taking, and yeah, you probably already know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like in the movie, he seemed like he'd probably get a redemption arc if like they made like this a series of movies.
Yeah. And one line I really liked from the show was when Aang gets rescued by the blue. Do you know what the blue spirit is?
No, it's a
It's
spirit.
that. No, no, no. It's not a spirit. It's like that disguise Zuko takes on
Oh
of
yeah,
like that blue mask. That's the blue spirit. After the blue spirit rescues Aang, Aang discovers it's Zuko, and he stays with Zuko until he revives from being passed out, and then he says this little spiel of, I had a friend from the Fire Nation 100 years ago. If we knew each other back then, do you think we could have been friends? Because remember, he lost all his friends, his entire culture, and everyone he knew because
yeah.
he lived 100 years ago. So he really wanted to find some glimmer of hope. And then Zuko shot a firebolt at him, showing that no, they could not be friends, at least not now.
Oh
In the
yeah.
movie, this the line "we could be friends" is still given, but it's given much less importance.
Yeah,
And
like
it's
no
said
one cares. Like, I barely remembered that line. He just, like puts Zuko into cryo or something.
he puts Zuko in this ice block, unfreezes
Yeah.
the top so he can breathe, and then he's like, "Okay, we could be friends." Like, dude, you just froze this guy in an ice block, and you're about
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
leave
But
him.
we could be friends. I don't care if I just froze you. We could be friends.
Yeah, that's like no, just
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. I think I do want to ask a question actually. So was Aang in cryo for 100 years? Like,
He
was
was
he?
frozen in a block of ice for
Yeah,
a
so
hundred.
like he was in cryo, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, but like I think you did end up saying that the avatars were in fact allowed to have a family.
they
Um,
were.
yeah, they were in fact allowed to have a family. Um, so why? What happened? Like, how did Aang get stuck in cryo? Was he like just a clumsy kid and just fell or something?
In the show, it was because he was forced to leave Monk Gyatso. Like Monk Gyatso wasn't trained. He was training Aang, but he wasn't training Aang enough because the Airbenders knew that a war was coming. So he was forced to leave Monk Gyatso, but it was all a misunderstanding because Gyatso wouldn't let Aang leave him. But before he could tell him that, Aang left on Appa and flew into a storm. He ended up passing out and fell in the ocean along with Appa, and then he went into the Avatar state and bended a ball of air around him and Appa and got frozen in there for 100 years. Do you know what the Avatar state is?
What the avatar state is? What?
Oh, you know how at the end of the movie, Aang's tattoos and his eyes, like, they glowed blue?
Yeah. Oh,
That's the
that's the
Avatar state.
Oh, okay, that
You
makes
got
sense.
you got the knowledge and wisdom of all the past avatars when you're in the Avatar state.
Oh, okay, so is that why you don't is that why you don't drown? I guess like is that's probably why he didn't end up drowning when that happened.
Yeah, the Avatar state was like fueling his life energy,
Okay.
and that's how he didn't drown.
Yeah, but 100 years in cryo, like, oh my god. I thought Master Chief had it hard when he was in cryo for 4 years before Halo 4. Man, this is like worse, 100 years.
He had this imagine, he had his Avatar state on the entire 100 years.
Yeah, I don't
His
even know how that's
Avatar state.
possible.
Like, when your life before, like, after you master all four elements, the Avatar has to master the Avatar state, and then you can like turn it on and off at will.
Yeah, but Aang
Aang didn't.
didn't.
Aang only mastered one element.
Oh,
So, before you master it, it's triggered as a defense mechanism to stop your life from ending. So, the Avatar state triggered as a defense mechanism, and he was in it for 100 years.
oh, okay.
It's lucky he had enough life energy because the Avatar state. Every time you go into the Avatar state, it drains a little bit of your life energy because of how much energy it's using up. It's lucky he had so much life energy because he could have died in the Avatar state.
That is true.
And this isn't a major spoiler, so I'll just tell you, if you die in the Avatar state, the Avatar cycle ends.
Wow. Okay, that's scary. Like that's actually
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah. Like, they don't elaborate on that at all in the movie, which is, like, I don't like.
Yeah. I guess like the movie was just like I feel like I don't even know if the writers even like watched um like any of the episodes in the actual show or anything. They're just like, well, yeah, I just did some heroin, but I have to like write the script, so I'm just gonna write the script, I guess.
Yeah. And another thing, if the Avatar is not allowed to have a family, Zuko and Azula are impossible.
Yeah, I
So,
think you may have said something like that before. Can't
I
remember
did.
what exactly.
So, Avatar Roku was the Avatar before Aang, and he lived about 200 years ago, since he had a pretty long life, you know? He died
Yeah.
about, like, 90 or something. So he lived about 200 years before the events of, like, Aang and Katara and Sokka, they take place.
Yeah.
So, he, he married, I don't remember the name, but he married someone from the Fire Nation because he was a Fire Nation Avatar. They had a child, and then and then that child had a child, and and her name was Ursa. Ursa is Zuko's mom. So
Okay.
If the Avatar is not allowed to have a family, then Zuko would be impossible because Avatar Roku is Zuko's great grandfather.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in the movie, to be fair, they didn't like they weren't going into Zuko's like family tree and all that, so like they probably so I guess that makes sense. It's just like them not really caring about the lore.
Yeah, I mean this happens in season 3, so they weren't there yet, but
Yeah. What I can say is that I mean, after this like discussion I've been having with you, the show seems like very attentive to detail and all that.
it's very attentive to detail.
Yeah.
Like
And the
the
show was,
only
I
thing,
think, the show was like advertised as a kids show, right? Like, I mean, I know it's probably not a kids show because it has like genocide and violence and stuff. It's like kind of like the Clone Wars, but like if it's like for something advertised as a kids show, like that is impressive.
Yeah, it takes genocide, but it takes it in a way that children wouldn't understand, like the true meaning.
Oh,
It also puts like I think you'll find that almost all kids jokes do this, but
a lot of
it
adult
also puts it
jokes.
yeah some adult jokes yeah
Yeah, like they always. I think like that's just a thing like that happens in like Disney sitcoms and stuff like that. Like people notice all these adult jokes.
yeah
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like there are also like some adult topics that like can show up in kids shows. I mean, especially Clone Wars. I think it did that. It did that a few times where it had. I think, uh, I mean, it literally had like human trafficking and all that sort of stuff like shown in like an episode. And like there are other things. Yeah, Anakin being a violent guy, like he was being violent as well a lot of the time. Um, war, all that sort of stuff. Like they were doing that in Clone Wars as well. I might decide to check out Avatar then.
yeah you definitely should.
Even then, like I kind of feel like the acting it just didn't work sometimes. Like there were so many times where I just felt that the acting just wasn't that good.
Yeah, it just it just wasn't good
Yeah,
because like the way they got the actor for Aang, they went to a karate club and picked the best guy there.
bro, seriously?
Yep, they didn't get a good actor. They just got like a guy who could do good kickflips. I mean, no, not kickflips. That's a skateboarding.
Yeah, that's
A guy who could do
skateboarding, like
a
kicks
good
and punches and martial arts stuff.
backflips, yeah. And
Yeah,
good, and he would like look epic when he was doing kicks and punches. So he like
yeah.
overdid his acting and stuff. It just
Oh.
wasn't. It didn't feel real.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of this one actor in Bollywood, Tiger Shroff. Like he knows how to like fight and dance and stuff, but then when it comes to his to his actual acting, it doesn't. It's not really that good sometimes.
Yeah, like it would have been better if they just got an actual actor and then gave him a stunt double.
Yeah, that or they could like CGI'd it.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't have the budget for that. I mean, who knows? I mean, okay, it's like
They
what?
had
Who
a
made
it
this
was
movie?
a
Nickelodeon.
$100 million movie. It was a hundred
Oh,
million dollar movie.
oh, yeah.
They
Nickelodeon was like the one that made this movie, right?
yeah, Nickelodeon but they got M. Night Shyamalan to direct it, and M. Night Shyamalan is not a director for like these types of movies. He's better for
I'm
like
just going to Google this guy.
suspense. Yeah.
I mean, it looks
It,
like he has directed like a few other movies like in the past. I don't know. Like, if I
yeah, like his movies are pretty good, but like poor guy, this one thing has destroyed his entire reputation.
oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like it looks like he directs like more adult movies, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it looks like thrillers and stuff. Just judging by what the like movie posters look like.
Yeah. And another thing, when Aang saying that the Avatar is not allowed to have a family creates so much tension between Aang and Katara because they actually end up becoming a couple by the end of like the show, and
Yeah.
Aang actually has feelings for her quite early on. But by Aang saying that he's not allowed to have a freaking family, he has to suppress those feelings and like he can't outright show them, which makes their like all their interactions really awkward.
I just don't understand the point of not having Aang have like of not allowing Aang to have a family because like it just like I mean in the show I mean obviously he just ran off because of like some miscommunication communication. Like you just say that for the movie it's simpler.
Yeah, it's just not a good movie, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I want to say lazy writing, but I mean that's an insult to films with lazy writing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like
like this is like actual carelessness. Like they're just like, okay, so this happened in the movie. Well, I'm gonna get it wrong on purpose because people will definitely like that, won't they?
yeah, they just. I think M. Night Shyamalan didn't really know what he was doing with this specific movie. His other movies,
Yeah.
I've not watched them, but I've heard they're really good. But with this specific movie, I don't think he was like, I don't think he knew what he was doing. Because he
Was he
definitely got
like
scenes.
did he work on the TV show?
No.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. They could have actually just gotten like some of the people who worked on the TV show to direct the movie. I'm pretty sure Dave Filoni I think worked on Avatar. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Dave Filoni for a little while.
Oh yeah, because he ended up moving on to Clone Wars after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that he did move on to Clone Wars though, because I mean, like the Clone Wars is like it's a great show. I don't think it would be where it is without Dave Filoni.
Yeah. So the thing is, um, uh, they took a lot of the scenes from the show, like Zhao dying. This is how he died in the show.
Which one is
Let me
Zhao?
just find. Remember that guy who was like kind of annoying,
Oh, the
and he
general.
was like, yeah,
Oh, that guy.
that's
Yeah.
Zhao. And it looks literally the same in the live action. I can't find any pictures of it online. Well,
Okay.
it looks literally exactly the same. But from Zhao's death actually had a point in the show. It wasn't waterbenders who killed it. It wasn't Aang who killed it. It was the ocean spirit who was avenging the death of the moon spirit. That's how Zhao was killed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
So
like
it
in the
just
show,
doesn't
like
make sense.
Zuko just kills him because yeah, I hate this guy. So like, yeah, Zuko kills him.
Wait, Zuko kills him? No, he doesn't.
Or
This four
oh wait, does he
four
even
random
die in the show?
waterbenders. He
Okay,
does
yeah,
die in the show. In the show, the ocean spirit kills him to avenge the death of the moon spirit.
okay. I can't remember if he died in the movie or not, but like if he did, I mean, I don't think that there was like any. I don't really think like he was actually like there's like any point to it. Like there wasn't really like nothing really
Yeah,
came out of it because like obviously if something came out of it, I would remember if he died or not.
four random waterbenders came up and drowned him. That's how insignificant they made his death.
Yeah.
In the in
So
Zhao's
characters have
final
basically been
moment,
downgraded severely.
yeah,
Like I thought it was bad when like oh I thought the Star Wars sequels was were bad when they downgraded Luke and Leia and Han and everyone, but no, this is 10 times worse.
yeah, it's just not. Yeah, it's way worse.
Yeah. Not to say that the Star Wars sequels are good in any way, but oh my god, like this is I think like the mother of downgrading characters. Like
Yeah,
not
it's like
even Riverdale was this bad.
I have not watched Riverdale.
You do not want to watch it. They messed it up from
Okay.
like they literally started messing up all the characters and everything from the second season. Like literally, like all the characters just started getting downgraded like midway through season 2.
Yeah, I'm actually really glad they didn't make a second movie because they would pronounce Toph's name like Toph or something. You don't know who Toph is.
Yeah, I don't know who Toph is, but okay, how do you get Toph from Toph?
It's Tophh, so I guess you could read it as Toph, but like
Oh, okay.
another thing. Sokka and Yue's relationship was actually expanded on in the show. They
Does
actually
Yui
like
actually
show
die like that in the show?
yeah, she does,
Oh,
but
okay.
um it was actually expanded on in the show, and it made like Yue's death actually sad. In the movie, we just hear Katara voiceovering it all, and then like when Yue dies, we don't even know who she is.
I mean, we do, but like, it's just like, yeah, this it's just, yeah, okay, yeah. So that chick that has a crush on Sokka, yeah, she's dead now.
Yeah,
Boo
that's
hoo.
like she has way more like character depth in the show.
Wow.
Just they screwed up everything.
Yeah, I think I don't know if like I don't think there's ever been a movie that's messed up anything more. Like any like movie that's like been based off of like a book or like a TV show or previous movies or something. I actually don't think that I'm gonna be able to find a movie that's messed up more than this.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
I mean, who
Um,
knows? Like maybe like a few weeks from now, I might end up saying otherwise.
yeah. Wait, I'm actually curious. Live action budget. Their budget was 150 million.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely enough. Don't you think 150 million film would mean that you'd have the budget for decent film writing or script writing?
It's not even the script. Like maybe they just had bad writers, but like the bending could have been so much better. Like it could have had such better CGI.
Exactly. Like what? Okay, where did all the budget go? All right, look, when I watched the movie Race 3, all right, they probably wasted all their budget on fancy cars and fancy clothes and just fancy stuff, and then they left us with a bad script. That one, it kind of made sense. You just spent all your money on like fancy cosmetic items. But then in this movie, like what did you spend the budget on? Like seriously.
Yeah, like it's impossible for that kind of movie to have spent $150 million.
Yeah, like what did they use it on? Like I don't know, like snacks or something for the actors and crew members or something. Like I don't know, what did they do with all that money?
Yeah, seriously.
Or was
It was
someone like
just
doing like corporate fraud or something? Like was someone doing money laundering? Is that why the your budget is that high? It
yeah.
could be that. I mean, who knows? It actually could be that.
The thing is, they were given such a high budget because they thought it would be good. Because the last Airbender show, it soared in popularity because of how good it was. So they thought if they could make an equally good live action movie, then they'd need a lot of money for it. So they were given a really high budget, and then they like made a terrible movie with it.
I don't they
It
even did
just
they even use like all the budget? I feel like they're just like, okay, this is like $100 million. Okay, 50 million for you, 50 million for you. Okay, so now we only have 50 million to make this movie.
no. I swear. The thing I'm really scared about, Netflix is thinking of making another live action for Avatar, but this time it's going to be a season.
What
Like it's going to
the
be
hell?
like an episodic thing, like so it's going to have like 3 seasons, all the episodes are going to be done.
I don't
But
know, man. Netflix has been producing a lot of crap recently.
the thing is, I wouldn't care that much. I would have like been like, well, it won't be bad because the creators were actually going to help with it. The creators were going to have like full control. And then the creators proceeded to leave because of creative differences, quote
Seriously?
unquote creative differences.
Yeah, you mean like Netflix just trying to interfere with everything, right?
Basically, they wanted to age up everyone about 6 or 7 years
Why?
just so the main characters. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but just so the main characters could have.
Yeah, I was suspecting that because that's what happens in CW shows. They hire like 30-year-olds to play high schoolers and have all this like random like romance crap happening.
Yeah, like
Even then, I feel like that's extremely. Look, as a minor, I feel offended by that. Like you're trying to You are okay. So like I'm gonna say this. Like I feel like that's actually sexualizing children. If I have to be honest.
true. You could be right there, but
Yeah.
like
Like why do they allow these types of people to make movies?
you don't know.
I mean, okay, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix wants to do this because last year they released a movie called Cuties, which I'm not going to talk about what was about that movie, but it was extremely inappropriate and like it involved kids and stuff. It was extremely like, inappropriate to kind of like that. So I'm not surprised Netflix is doing this crap. I don't even know why I still have a Netflix account.
To watch Avatar: The Last Airbender on
Oh, yeah, right, I did watch it, yeah. I mean, I could have just pirated it as well, who knows.
it. Yeah.
But man, oh my god. Are they still gonna make like are they still making that live action season or not?
Coming out early 2022 because and if the thing is this is considered I'm pretty sure this live action series is considered as canon, like the
What?
one they're working on, so they could literally do anything at this point.
Yeah, they. Oh my god! Like, what if they like mispronounce everyone's names and change it? Okay, if that's the case, I feel like the last Airbender movie. If they release this show, then people are just gonna be like, oh man, the movie actually wasn't as bad as I thought.
The thing is it could still be good.
It could, yeah, but then I mean, it's Netflix that's making it. Netflix is making this movie.
True.
Yeah, like if Netflix and CW were gonna make were like if either of them were making the series, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, seriously, like
Yeah,
the
because
last
CW
Airbender
has
movie
Riverdale, Netflix has all this other crap.
the last Airbender movie is not considered canon. Like as soon as it
Yeah,
came out people were like, no, this can't be considered canon, but the thing
yeah,
is,
it's not
uh,
even like advertised as canon.
yeah. Like, but the thing is, this live action series is considered canon.
Yeah, that's gonna suck. That's actually gonna suck.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also just there might also just be some people who just be like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna consider this canon because it doesn't make any sense. Like I said that about the Star Wars sequel trilogy because you're right. Like I don't consider it canon because it doesn't make sense at all, with the original 6 films. Like I guess you could say that, but like I guess you're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, so all in all, The Last Airbender, not a good movie.
Yeah. Before I talked with I would say it was an extremely mediocre movie with extremely in all caps. Like if the show is as good as people say it is, we should have just had a 4th season. And then after this chat with very bad movie, writers were literally like I don't know, the writers were high or something when they wrote this.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure you check out Infectious Insects channel and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.